Do you believe the 2027 elections will be competitive in the real sense of the word competitive? 2023 was somewhat competitive, even though so many people were expectedly, because there will be winners and losers in any contest. Would this 2027 election, would it be competitive? Give us your honest, views on the forthcoming election.
Like America will say, we have no way of determining what happened tomorrow, except from what happened yesterday.
Chief, I don't want a political. Don't give me a political response. Give me your honest assessment of what is coming.
If the National Assembly, if they do not do the needful,
which is
make sure we have some level of sanity in our electoral system,
okay,
which involves automated and electronic transfer or transmission of result from the point of cast to point of collision. If we don't have that, then we don't have no elections.
I think what they call it is mandatory transmission, real-time transmission.
It's in the law, it's mandatory.
Exactly.
It becomes a law. That's why the National Assembly.
No, sir. The civil society organizations they are choosing their words carefully, because nowadays we live in a country where judiciary would interpret, or even when they give a verdict, lawyers will say no, this is not what they meant. So they are being specific with the words. But give us your own prognosis. How do you think next year's general elections will play out?
Well, there will be eventually two major political parties. Two major.
Okay.
The APC and the ADC.
Okay.
These are the two major political parties.
What about SDP?
The third one, not SDP. There's no SDP there. They are structurally not very functional. The third one that would have made sense would have been the PDP. But you can see it is sizably factionalized. It doesn't exist anymore. And those who are in charge of it right now, I don't know about tomorrow, are insisting that they are part of APC. So we will have two major political parties. And it depends on who the candidates are. At least we know that APC will be fielding in Bola Tinubu. It's a consensus, more or less.
We don't coronation.
Yes, well, it's a consensus. I don't want to call it coronation. But we don't know who is coming from ADC.
Assess the potential aspirants in ADC. Assess the strengths.
Well, for now we have three.
Okay.
P2B, Atiku Abubakar, and Rotimi Amechi. If I understand politics very well, I will urge them to go for internal resolution to decide who becomes the
How do you mean? Consensus?
A consensus arrangement. Internal resolution. That's
Why?
But if they choose to do primaries, Atiku will beat everybody, hands down, because of the geopolitical lineages that happens. Atiku will beat them. One, he has a more rich. Two, he comes from a location where
rich. In what sense? What do you mean rich?
Well, he's out of three of them, he's the most astute politician.
Okay, so the richness you mean is types of political dexterity
in all the zones of the country, north, south, east, west. If you like, include another zone.
He has tentacles.
Atiku has it, and he has the demeanor of leadership. He has the capacity to show that he is loved in all parts of the country. So, P2B will have a great followership amongst the young ones, no doubt about it. Young ones who are insisting that it's time for the youth to join. And Rotimi Amechi, I do not know, he won't even win anything in River State. But who knows what forces he will be bringing. I don't intend to derogate him, no. But if you see what we have on ground, he will eventually maybe will want to support either P2B or Atiku Abubakar. But from percentages, if I'm to have not percentages from my own little understanding of what is going to happen, I think we'll take a higher percentage in terms of delegates vote.
Okay, so now Atiku versus Bola Tinubu and the square off next year. So how do you read the situation?
I believe APC is making a big mistake by thinking that having a governor will automatically make you have
You mean the governors, they campaign to...
APC. It's a big mistake. It doesn't work that way. After all, look at what happened the last time. When a governor was supporting, let me be practical.
Yeah.
Somebody like El-Rufai was a very great supporter of Tinubu. In fact, I saw his overwhelming reach insist that it must go to South. But Atiku won in Kaduna State. Look at also what happened in a state like Abia, where the governor had a support for Atiku. PW won there. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the government may create an overwhelming support. No, it doesn't happen that way. But let me give you information. Tinubu had about 8.7 million votes.
Yes.
5.3, about 8.7 was from the north. That north is not with him right now. That's the truth. If anybody has to tell himself the truth, that north is not essentially with him. Not mind those governors. The major north is not essentially with him. Not because he has not done any good job, no. But the reforms come with some pain, which our people are not willing to take. Reform comes with pain. He wanted to come with reforms. But reforms is very painful. You can't make omelette without breaking eggs. So you can't even renovate this house without breaking down places.
And temporary inconvenience.
So those inconveniences are people are not willing.
But the pains of the reforms are, universal all over the country. So why would they not?
And let me give you information. We told Tinubu, if you take away subsidy, what it will simply means that there will be so much money for developmental activities. What we will urge you to do is not necessarily to send it to local governments and states. If you do, you really end up increasing their propensity to spend lavishly, and also increasing job for EFCC and ICPC and other investigating agencies. That's what you will do. Invest that extra money in the critical areas. There are critical areas will require this, such as healthcare, very critical, education critical, power. You can't industrialize without power. We said you can't do it. And then the road infrastructure. Hit these areas with these funds. It will trickle down to the people, and you create enormous infrastructure for developmental activity. Giving it to the governors. Look at the ones you have given them. What have they done with it? It will only increase the number of vehicles that are going to be in their convoy, increase their spending habits, and then drive up the demand for foreign exchange, because they have sizable appetite for foreign trips. At no given time do you have half of our governors in the country. No given time. At no given time, not only governors, even the ministers. At no given time do you have 50% of the ministers in this country. What are they looking for abroad? And when you go abroad for all these trips, you come back, you still behave like you never knew things were working properly in those countries that you have got to. Go to most countries, you won't see policemen on the streets. When you put in the right people, pay proper wages, provide the tools for what the police work will go.
You'll go back to police. Let's stay on politics. You alluded to it. The governors, they campaign en masse. As of today, I think there are about 31 governors now in the APC camp.
There were 28 for Jonathan. He never won.
So, but the question is that the ease with which these governors moved, governors from different persuasions, the one that actually stunned quite a lot of Nigerians, that most Nigerians can't actually comprehend, is the Konkonsia governor, Abba Yusuf of Kano. So the issue of ideology, political ideology, does it even exist in our environment at all?
We are told that there were several motivations for them. We don't know if it is true. We cannot verify most of them, both from financial motivations and from guarantees of
Second
tenure. This is what we have been told. Most of them have not been investigated to find out if it's true or not. But we want to know actually if these allegations of motivations are not there. What is moving you? There must be something moving them. We don't know what's moving them, but eventually we'll find out.
You know why this question
as we go ahead.
Why this question is important, Chief? The incumbent president was a governor.
Yes.
And while everybody was moving,
he remained where he was. And built his empire.
So I asked you once again, Chief, what is responsible for the lack of not just ideology now, even spine? And by spine I mean, you know, the intestinal fortitude of a man, a god. Because when someone has attained the stature of a state governor, you must be able to, you must have certain qualities, leadership's, you know, quality to make you say no, like the governor of Abia State has done. Sheyi Makinde, you know, your state has done. Against all entreaties, blackmail, subtle blackmail and threats, they've refused to budge. Why these other governors, why have they, you know, chosen to toe the path they've chosen?
You should have not answered this. Were they elected based on their abilities to deliver? Was there proper scrutiny as to their characters and characteristics? Their manners and mannerisms, their behaviors and behavioral tendencies? Were there any such scrutinies as to their ideas and ideals? They were not there. They went in there through godfatherism. They went in there through one means or the other. That's a saying in my place. A man who lacks integrity, you can't make him king because his judgment to be poor. That is a very strong saying in my place. So the quality of character of those who were elected as governors, were they on their merits or were they pushed in there through one means or the other? That is the problem.
Switching gears, the Senate, even though it's just the Senate, not the House, we're still waiting for their decision. The Senate's refusal to incorporate in the amendment of the Electoral Act 2022 mandatory transmission of real-time election results. You know, they said no, and then there's been a lot of hue and cry and all of that. This refusal, is it, in your view, is it an attempt to, in advance, manipulate the 2027 elections? What do you think?
I don't know what it is, but I know it's wrong. It does not give us the yardstick to properly measure the proper way to go in terms of decency, credibility, integrity of electioneering in the country. Whatever they have done there is wrong. And I'm very surprised also that the committee that sat and harmonized the positions of various views, that's not what they recommended. They recommended something else, and our people are doing something else. That is very sad.